I'm not exaggerating when I say that dictation spelling has changed the way that our family does spelling. And in the curriculum that I wrote for our family this year, but I'm also making it available to you around the ancient world, you will find that dictation spelling shows up in every single lesson. So I'm going to teach you how to use it today because it's transformed the way that we do spelling. Before, it always used to feel like some sort of add-on. It was clunky. The kids bucked against it. They didn't see that it made any sense to memorize word after word. But with dictation spelling, it's rooted in what they know. It's rooted in what they're reading. And I just find we fight a lot less. So let's talk about how it works. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take an age-appropriate passage from a book, or for my son in this, he is doing a catechism class, and so we've had him using his catechism question as his. But for instance, if we were doing reading this book, here's a sentence. It has some variety in it. The men looked over the crowd and then at each other. You just go through, you find a sentence that looks like it makes sense. It has a variety of words, not too long, not too short. It can be, as your student gets a little older, an entire paragraph or a single sentence. So let's just take this catechism question and break it down. This is the book we used last year. These are the books that I've created. They're available in the shop, so that way you can print them, and this is what we'll be using for this next year. So the first thing that your student is going to do is they're going to go through and they're going to circle any words that that they think that they might struggle with. So when he went through and selected this, creation was one, maybe nothing, powerful, and everything might be the words that he realizes he'll have trouble with. And so what we're going to do is we're going to list those down to one side. We're going to write creation, nothing, powerful, everything, and he'll write those 2 times. The next day, I will read this passage to him, and he will, with his best effort, write that passage. Whichever words he has misspelled, they will be the ones that will copy at the bottom here, and he'll copy those 2 more times. And then you just keep repeating it until all of the words are spelled correctly. So some places you can go wrong is picking a sentence that is too easy or too hard. If they can spell all the words right off the bat, you need to level up and go a little bit harder. But not every word in the sentence should be a challenge. So it should be whatever their comfortable reading level is, a sentence from that. And we've just found it to be incredibly practical and a great way for us to do spelling. Usually within a week, our students have it. So the first day we identify the problem words. The second day we practice. So I read it out and they do it. And mostly you try to only read it one time, like a line at a time, and not repeat it. And so that way they have to picture what those words look like in their mind and get it copied onto the paper. And then hopefully by day 2, there are fewer misspelled words. And by the end of the week, really, you should be ready to move to the next sentence. So what you'll notice, the way that I have it laid out in the curriculum, is it says day 1. So here's your week 3, day 1. Take a diverse sentence from the age-appropriate book your child is reading. Identify the words that could be a challenge. Copy the challenge words. And then the next 2 sets of directions, and along with your alternate days, like your catch-up a day and stuff, you will look over alone. The student will look at the sentence from yesterday and attempt to fix what the word looks like in their mind. So before you start having them write and spell it, you're going to allow them to look at it, to look at what their problem words were, to look at what they did wrong the day before, and attempt to see it in their mind, so that way they're able to write it on their paper. So it's a way of training them to, even as they're reading, to notice the way that words are spelled and to be able to picture the way that those words are spelled, as well as memorizing them, because our goal isn't short-term retention for a test. It's not cramming, but it's to begin picturing the way the words are spelled. And then day 2 or day 3 is also going to be the same. Your catch-up day will just be a repeat of that if they still haven't figured out how to do it. And then the next week when you start again, you're going to take a new diverse sentence and add it to your repertoire. So I hope that helps. It's been so good for our family. It's great to not have to buy another piece of curriculum and to be able to use what we have in order to teach our kids how to spell.